Ecotourism is one of the fastest growing economies in the world and is worth over $250 billion per year. Ecotourism can be defined as responsible travel to natural areas that conserves the environment and improves the welfare of local people. One of the most popular forms of ecotourism in the UK is marine wildlife tourism, with many marine tour boats operating in the UK. But how does this activity affect some of the most charismatic marine animals around our shores? The UK is home to bottlenose dolphins, the type of dolphin that is perhaps best known for playing flipper. The largest UK resident populations of bottlenose dolphins live in the Moray Firth in Scotland and in Cardigan Bay in Wales, but there is also a small group living around the Cornish coast. Due to their charismatic, curious nature, they are popular animals to be spotted on marine wildlife watching trips. But what effect do these trips have on the dolphins and their behaviour? Marine tour operator vessels may affect dolphins in a number of ways. One study published in 2004 found that bottlenose dolphins in Auckland, New Zealand, that were frequently exposed to tourist boats, spent less time resting than those not. A similar study conducted on the dolphins resident to Cardigan Bay, Wales, found that dolphins also spent less time resting when more boats were present. Since bottlenose dolphins can live up to 50 years, it is difficult to assess how this could affect their survival in the long term. With more boats present, it is reasonable to assume the risk of a dolphin being hit by a boat increases. A recent example of this is the loss of a baby bottlenose dolphin in Padstow this year due to a number of boats pursuing the group of dolphins. While it is an offence to intentionally or recklessly disturb whales or dolphins in the UK, it is difficult to police and find those responsible. WISE is a scheme that delivers training to marine tour operators in the UK. The scheme promotes each company for sustainable wildlife watching, and the companies agree to abide by the codes of conduct depending on the wildlife they're viewing. The main rules of the codes of conduct for dolphin watching include keeping the vessel on a steady course and not suddenly changing direction to pursue the dolphins, keeping the boat speed at 7 nautical miles per hour, and allowing dolphins to approach the boat rather than pursuing them. This is Captain Keith, skipper and owner of AK Wildlife Cruises, a marine tour operator in Falmouth. He argues that trips benefit both the public and the wildlife.
Trips are very much based on education and also fun. So a lot of the times people might not have seen all the different species that we get throughout the year, and by joining us on one of our wildlife excursions we're able to not only show them but also tell them all about the different species. So I think they really do benefit from that. And everything that we observe and find, we pass back then into the wildlife trusts and the conservation groups that we work very closely with. We have a dedicated seal group where we're looking at behaviour, dispersal and identification of different species, and we also have a dolphin group as well doing exactly the same thing.
Research on board the boat is undertaken by volunteers and students like Billy from the local universities.
So since this term with the University of Exeter, we have set up 2 data projects, one on the Atlantic grey seal population and one a fin ID on the bottlenose dolphins. So what we're aiming to do at the minute is with the grey seals we're making a big catalogue of all the different individuals, and so far we have just over 10 individuals that we now recognise throughout a variety of scars and different marks that they have, and was lucky to find one of the first seal pups of the season this year as well. And with the bottlenose dolphins, we started doing fin IDs, as dorsal fins are obviously like a fingerprint for the dolphins, and through them we're now identifying, we know about 14 individuals as well. When it comes to dolphins, I don't think the boat does have a negative impact, as you can see, we're using the codes of conduct that we approach the dolphins in a very respectable manner, always turning the engine right down, and obviously as dolphins being a sociable mammal, they come right up to the boat and start bow riding.
Those spotting trips clearly have an effect on the dolphins. Whether it is an overall positive or negative impact remains to be seen, though it is possible that some negative effects could be offset by adhering to the codes of conduct and marine tour operators contributing to their conservation. More research will need to be done to see the long-term effects of dolphin watching trips.